And we're live here, back with real news. There's a cruise for Trump happening in Portland now, and it's getting really crazy. We're following it right now, live streams. It's breaking news right now, but we're talking about all the shit show that's happening this week. This has been wild, fucking wild. And we were just talking about King Kyle, as people are calling him on the internet, the kid
and
that... yeah, we're gonna be... We this time it wasn't your fault, Sam, so, you know, I'm trying to one-up you this time. But people are wondering, this kid Kyle that's 17 years old and shot 2 Black Lives Matter protesters and killed them. Shot 3 and killed 2. I think why he was there is he was trying to be... I think when you're that age and when you're into the things he's in, you have this sort of idealized version of how these events are going to play out. You kind of think you're going to... I don't want to say be a hero, but like... He probably got really gung-ho, like, oh yeah, I'm going to defend these shops, and we're going to stand strong, and nothing's going to go wrong, we're going to protect these places. And it's like, yeah, I'm all for that, but when you're 17 years old, you really don't know what you're getting into. Like, I'm not trying to sound condescending, but kind of you should let the adults handle that, you know? I mean, he was technically doing what he was illegal, open carrying, but, I mean, that's what he was trying to do, is he was trying to be, you know, do something good, but like it's a bit more than that. It's like kind of like he has this idealized version of what, you know, it's like when you're a kid and you want to be a soldier, or you want to be you know, some like you want to be like Captain America, okay? You know what I mean? Like when you're young, you have that sort of idea in your mind, like you want to be an action hero, you want to be a spy. But we all know that the spies in movies are not how spies really are. Being a spy sucks. It's like terrible.
So you mean to tell me that my James Bond, that like I can't be a real life James Bond, Sean? Is that what?
Well, I don't know, man. That wheelchair can do some damage. And it'd be a good cover too.
Yeah. I mean.
Like how many movies have like spies pretending they're like. What?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how many like spies in like movies like pretend they're like disabled or something, then all of a sudden they spring into action, they like take you out.
Yeah, you have no idea the damage hiding in that mechanized Roman fucking war machine.
Which I'm actually going to get new tires on. This week, by the way.
Sure.
All season tires.
Sure. New tires, air quotes.
Winterizing the vehicle. There you go.
Probably bulletproof.
I will tell you this. I've been told. I probably shouldn't say this on air, but I have been told that, like, if Antifa or anyone comes up to me and like tries to harass me, to run their ass over if they try and come at me. Which, I mean, look, here's the thing too, is like with the whole with this kid, I'm not sure that they want to have Black Lives Matter would have harassed him anyway, because they harass everyone. So I mean, what he did, yeah, it might not have been smart for him to go out there in the first place, but I mean, he defended himself.
Yeah.
I have just one piece of advice, Sammy. Try the smoke bombs and the caltrops before you go running people over. I mean, at least try to ninja your way out before you know, because I know you got caltrops and smoke bombs.
Oh my god, Trump is traveling to Kenosha on Tuesday. Oh boy. Oh.
No
man.
fucking way.
Yep.
Dude, well, see, here's like the two ways of looking at it. On the one hand, it could either turn Kenosha into an absolute shit show, more than it already is, or two, that means, because we all know when the president goes somewhere, like, they close down blocks. So that means he's gonna bring the feds in, and they're gonna clean house.
That's probably on purpose.
That's probably why. That's probably why he did it.
That's
like,
a loophole. Instead of like waiting for them to call National Guard, he's just like, I'll show up.
Yeah, because they're not none of these Democrats are like basically sandbagging their cities intentionally. Like,
dude,
this could be great. Yeah, that's a great.
It's a smart
Like I'm
play.
telling, like we always seem to say that Trump is like a couple chess moves ahead of pretty much everybody else. Like this,
4D
I
chess
mean,
meme, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, if you
he's
guys,
winning. He's winning at chess while everybody's losing at checkers. That's how I see it.
dude,
Well,
as
I
much
think-
this shit in Portland's pretty like crazy. Like these Trump supporters are doing like a parade in the fucking city with Trump flags and everything, and Antifa's throwing shit at
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I love this because this shows that we're not going to let these people intimidate us and bully us. But on the other hand, you're in Portland. You got to be careful or else you're going to get the Proud Boys treatment.
Yeah.
Which is what's going to happen to Kyle. Because here's the thing
Yeah.
I have the issue with Kyle. That's why I'm like,
Well,
look,
he
I
won't get the. I don't think he'll get the. I don't think he'll get the murder charges. I don't think he'll get them. Like any lawyer worth their salt is gonna beat the murder charges calmly.
Didn't
The other stuff is what I'm worried about. Like
Vic-
because he's obviously dead to rights with illegally possessing a firearm
Yeah.
under the age of 17.
he probably won't be allowed to own a
Obviously,
gun
that's
ever
like-
again.
Well, not in
Not in that state.
that
Is
state,
it-
but
Isn't that what happened with like FPS Kyle?
Yeah, yeah,
from,
exactly.
I know I'm going back a ways to like an old internet reference, but that was just what popped in my head immediately with yeah.
No, they're gonna fuck this kid so hard. Like that's why I'm saying stay away from this shit. This shit is stupid. Is because you're in a liberal fucking like city with liberal courts. They're gonna railroad you, and you're not gonna be allowed to own guns anymore. You're gonna get your life ruined. Like even like here's the thing. Even if he did nothing wrong, his life is still ruined. It doesn't matter. His life is ruined, and that's what's stupid about doing this. Like don't
Well-
I don't want to say don't bring guns, but like don't put yourself in situations where you're gonna have to use it.
Well, and Sean, to your point, that's kind of what worries me about this whole thing in Portland too, is because, like, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I have a friend named Dan Sandini who's a citizen journalist. He's been a guest on the show before, and I've known him since like he first came on the show when I was a senior in high school, so I've known him for quite a long time now. And he was a citizen journalist in Portland, Oregon, back when Occupy Wall Street was a thing. And he actually got arrested for, believe it or not, defending himself from an Occupy Wall Street member who punched him in the face, and then Dan punched him back, and Dan actually had to go to the hospital. And he pressed charges, and they arrested the guy who punched him. But then, because the courts are so crooked in Portland, the guy who assaulted Dan was let go, and basically for political reasons. So what I'm saying is, I don't know, and I mean, I hate to say this, but I don't know why anyone on the right really keeps fighting in Portland, because it's a lost cause. Everything is rigged against us. So, I mean, I hate to be this guy, but what's the point even?
I think the point really is to, well, I think for some people, I hate having to give such nuanced answers, and I think for some people they're looking for a fight, they're looking for something to do right now, and so they're looking for a fight. And I think the other part of it is, I think people are sick and tired of Democrats controlling these cities, and they're sick of Antifa intimidating people, and they're sick of Black Lives Matter intimidating people, and they want to show the Trump supporters and that like they want to fight back. Basically, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
basically just wait until after the election. Just get Trump back in office for 4 more years, and then we'll go to town. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes point. Yeah, and I mean, Johnny, I get what you're saying, but this all I'm saying is this shit has been going on for 15. I mean, for close to
Yeah.
a decade in Portland, if not more. I mean, it feels demoralizing. Now, if Trump wins the second term, which is what it looks like, if I were Trump, I would send the National fucking Guard into Portland and
Yeah, but you need the governor's approval, and
Yeah.
no, these governors are not allowing it. Like they're just not allowing it.
yeah.
Like I
That's
know.
why. That's why the Kenosha trip is so fucking genius, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder,
Yeah.
legit, that feels like what it has to be. Because why else would he do that? You know, if his real goal is protecting Americans, which I think most Americans that support him believe that to be the truth, he's gonna do whatever he can, including, you know, sticking himself in these areas. I mean, the timing works out. I don't know. Like it makes sense. Let's go to these Democrat ravaged cities while the mob are fucking destroying it, and go and say, look, this is, you know, just do what he does.
And if anybody aims anything at the president, they have full authority to use lethal force. That is guaranteed. Like you will not.
But that's a problem.
That's it. Huh?
See, well, that's the problem. Is
No,
because,
no, that's not the problem.
Yo,
because
it is, because
if you
here's
do
the
that,
problem.
well,
No,
what?
listen, this is why Trump hasn't done anything, is because once he gets involved, he owns it. That is the biggest problem he has been having with this sort of situation here. Because if something happens, if a National Guard member shoots an Antifa, shoots a Black Lives Matter protester, oh my God, will they rain down on Trump for that like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
And that is why it is not okay to do that, and why he can't do that. And that's why these people like Cernovich have been saying what I've been thinking too, which is like, let it happen, let it burn, don't get involved unless you absolutely have to, because once you do, it's yours. It's off the Democrats' hands, and they're gonna say, "Oh, we didn't do that. That when once Trump came in with his people, that's when somebody died." That's exactly what they'll say, and the blood will be on Trump's hands. Even if it's justified, even if it's the right thing to do, it doesn't matter. That'll be the perception.
Yeah, I would say I agree. I'd say wait until after the election and then start dropping shit, because at that point, like once the election's over, that's really it. Like, you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get on Trump's shit, but it wouldn't matter at that point. Like he's already won the re-election. He's not going to be able to get 4 more years, so he'd just be like, well, fuck it.
The only thing you do have to kind of like slightly consider is the midterms again. I mean, he has to, like, those first 2 years he can be a little looser, but he's got still play things a little right. But after those 2 years, if we keep the House, his final 2 years could be just the best.
I mean, I definitely agree with you guys. Like, once, especially anything that Trump has touched or has been associated with has been so demonized, it's absurd. But, you know, the one thing that Trump has always been good at is winning hearts and minds face to face. So it really I think it wouldn't matter what the media says about him if he changes people's minds.
I mean, yeah.
In these
I mean,
cities,
that's
you know what I mean?
a good point too, Apex. Like, I'm not sure that the press really matters at this point, because whatever he does, he could send he could send Jesus himself to rescue everybody, and he would still get flack from CNN. Like, it'd be like, well, why did he summon Jesus sooner? He doesn't care about Americans. Like, what?
That fucking meme where like Trump cures cancer and like the next day everyone's crying because Trump put doctors out of work.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that.
It's
have you seen the meme where Jesus comes down to save everyone, and everyone's like, they start basically like gaslighting Jesus, like Jesus is a racist, Jesus is, you know, is an Islamophobe, Jesus is
he's only coming down when white people are in danger. What the hell? He's a total racist.
yeah, something. It's like I think it's like from Babylon B or one of those satire sites, but it just proves the point. So these people will never be happy.
I just
So
retweeted a video of like showing like the whole line of Trump mobiles like riding in this parade. It's like is long. There must be like they organized the shit out of this. There's must be like 100 Trump cars. This is
I do.
badass.
I feel like though, it's coming. Like I feel like this. We're gonna see more of this.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I feel like
Dude, we
before
have
this
2 months
election,
left.
yeah, we're gonna see a lot more of this because you're not. I mean, you're not gonna like a lot of these like these Republicans and are like, and even the Democrats and the small business owners and stuff like that, like they're not gonna stand and let their shit be burned to the ground, like, and they're not gonna be like that and telling them, oh well, this is why you need to vote November 3rd. That's not gonna be enough for these people that are whose lives are already going up in flames. Like shit's gonna boil, shit's gonna shit's gonna reach a fever pitch, and some bad shit's gonna happen. Like
So I have a question for you guys, and I'm starting a new clip for this, by the way. But I have a question. So, new topic / question. Are we going to have a civil war, or are we already in one? That's the question. Because at this point, I think a civil war is kind of I think it's like I don't think
you
there's
want
a
to
way
say
we
inevitable,
aren't.
but you don't at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And also keep in mind, when I say civil war, I don't just mean that like people are going to be bringing guns and stuff. I think a civil war in terms of like, yeah, it's going to get physical, but also propaganda wars, disinfo, all that stuff.
Yeah, but we've already had those things, and that's why when people always say civil war, I'm like, well, what do you mean by a civil war? Are we talking about like the fucking like states like splitting? Are we talking about just like right wingers and left wingers having like firefights in the streets? Like, what are we talking about here in terms of like civil war?
I feel like all that's gonna happen.
Well, and that's kind of my point. John Arcade in the chat says you're already in one, and that's already happening. Yeah, I mean, so kind of in the way that I see things, we are kind of already in one, but to what extent it's going to get to, I'm not sure. Look, the country has split apart before. It's 2020. We're in a bunch of. I wouldn't be surprised if states start succeeding. I don't want them to, but at this point, anything could happen.
Man,
so.
I totally misjudged there, dude. I thought you were like prophesizing like a Marvel universe, an MCU type civil war, like within this Discord, like or something, like a prophesizing. I don't know.
Team Sam versus
I lost that.
Team Whitfield versus Team Versa.
Or the powers that be, whoever they are going to start getting uber aggressive. Like they're going to start saying and we need to. By the way, I feel like Trump needs to get more aggressive. Like after this election, he needs to get more aggressive.
But how can he?
Look,
normalize the death penalty.
I mean,
for starters.
I would just. I'd go after. I would label BLM as a terrorist organization like Antifa, and then I would start cracking hard on these terrorist organizations. If Dictator Phil was in charge, they're going to Guantanamo. Like all of them are stripped of their United States citizenship, and they're going to Guantanamo. I'm filling that prison up to the brim.
Oh, so now you're resurrecting dictator Phil. I see how
Yes,
that goes.
it's wartime, bitches.
So,
Like I'm saying,
so
It's wartime.
if dictator Phil was in charge, yeah.
no, no. Well, Trump needs to go after one particular individual that I can't name here. Otherwise, I'll get I'll probably get like. Well, I'm not monetized, so but I'll probably get even more Shadow Man. Screw it. He needs to go after George Soros, who I'm pretty sure, speaking of James Bond, is actually like a real life James Bond villain.
Oh, he's the closest thing to a
So-
Bond villain.
Hi,
And
Alex.
What's going on, Alex?
and his son is even scarier.
Alex, are you seeing the shit that's going on in Portland right now?
No.
Dude,
Oh, man,
Trump
I've been-
supporters had this like fucking like mile long cruise or parade of like Trump trucks go into the city with Trump flags, American flags, Proud Boys, and now Antifa's like throwing shit at them, attacking them.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, dude, it's like here's the thing too is like this if they play this well, it could just be Trump cars driving through a city, and they just get attacked. They would look like the victims, kind of. I mean, yeah, they're obviously provoking a bit with a Trump flag,
Oh.
but you know, if you're doing nothing wrong, if you're doing everything legal and you're not starting shit, like these people are gonna look real bad. Trump supporters are gonna look hopefully oppressed and bullied.
You know, the left, they like to go and say, you know, just because she's wearing provocative clothing doesn't mean she's not like she's asking for it. Well, you know, same logic over here, buddies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Civil War too, and I'll answer this question, then you can too, Alex. Because Sam asked, "Are we going into a civil war, or are we already in one?" And I'm gonna try to define civil war first, which is a battle between two sides that are armed and organized, and they're trying to take territory, and they're trying to you know, wipe each other out. That's what a civil war in my mind is. I don't think we're having that right now. I think we're having street brawls, but I'll be honest. Before all this shit, I thought no way, civil war ain't gonna happen. It simply wasn't. And given the things that were happening, it wasn't there. Well, after seeing what I'm seeing now, I don't know. I'm not gonna take a side yet because I really do not know if one's coming. I don't think we're in one right now at all, because you gotta keep in mind we're in an election season. Emotions are high. Things are gonna be crazier than normal. We're also in the middle of a pandemic, so it may look like it's one. It may look like it, but that's kind of how things looked in 2016. People thought the country was tearing itself apart and we were all gonna die, and we didn't. I think once Trump gets inaugurated, things will calm down, but I don't know for how long.
See, I think that, you know, we're probably closer to a state of anarchy than a state of civil war, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I actually agree
Yeah, I
with
agree.
that. Yes.
Yeah, that does. I mean, I
I
could
feel like government bodies would have to like openly be calling for death of the other party. You know what I mean? Like that, for like factions to be formed in that fashion. I mean, there's factions being formed, and they're definitely being, you know, not so subtly supported by, you know, certain politicians and stuff. But I think just generally speaking, they're not, you know, I think the language and the action, you know, therein would be a lot different. And in my mind, what I would consider an actual civil war, I think we're for sure in what could be called a state of civil war, but it's you know, it's a cold civil war, so to speak, even though there's lots of bullets being fired.
And I think too with the anarchy thing, I think that's a good thing to bring up, because what is the goal of all these things? Defund the police, abolish police, Antifa, you know, everything they're doing the end goal, really, even if these people don't realize it, is anarchy, because then they can do what they want. They don't have the oppressor above them controlling them. They don't have the white man above them controlling them, or the men. That's really what this is all about, like tearing down the patriarchy, tearing down this and that. It's all about
Well-
eliminating the control over them and the people that are keeping them from power, because they want power. And so the way they achieve power is through anarchy.
Well, I think what's happening is we have a lot of people who are useful idiots right now, and they're supporting these causes even though they have no concept of an end game in sight.
Yes.
And I
Well,
think. Oh, go ahead.
the other thing too is, and I mean, Apex and I specifically have talked about this a lot, but I'm going to make a few references here. So I finished my second rewatch of The Americans last night, which, in case you guys don't know, for those listening, is basically a show about Soviet spies posing as American citizens during the 1980s Cold War period, and I think there is some of that definitely going on with China here in the U.S. right now, as Apex and I have discussed before. And I mean, it seems blatant that there are people now who have actively said we're Marxists and we want a revolution in this country. So yeah, the geography has changed a bit, but I definitely think that there are foreign infiltrators trying to operate here, just not the ones that, the left would like you to think. I don't. Russia is no longer the bad guy. But there certainly are communist, operatives here. That's for sure. So
I would be willing to bet you the closing of the Houston consulate has there's probably like evidence of exactly that, from what I understand, like from a lot of the language, not heard exactly, but look at all the documents they're burning and shredding and shit. I mean, Trump's war on China, I think that's where, again, it's so important, man, and people that know about it know it's important, but so many people don't, like, they have no idea. But not only don't have any idea, but like it's hard to even, well, it's not really that hard. Anybody that's interested, all you got to do is, direct them to a few places, and the evidence is overwhelming for their, abuse of the Uyghurs and stuff, and various other oppressions, which we're all aware on this panel.
Well, that's what
but
the one silver lining of the pandemic is. It finally look the Trump base. They knew from the get-go, but like before 2016, that China was the real enemy. They knew it, and they were feeling it as their jobs were being taken away by China. But it took the pandemic for people to really personally feel that China is a threat to your daily life. They are the enemy. This isn't from Russia. This is from China. And that, I think, has woken a lot of people up. And you would hope
for sure
it would bring a sense of unified national pride for this country against another, but it didn't. Instead,
No,
shit.
Well, I still think. Go ahead.
People will blind themselves to spite Trump. They will gouge out their eyes to go and say "fuck you" to Trump. They'll backpedal like on anything if Trump supports it. If Trump went out today and said, I support wearing masks, you'd probably go with like, I believe you should have a mask mandate. Then you'll see, the left saying, oh, well, that's actually racist because, black people can't afford masks or something. They'll find a reason to bitch and moan about it, basically.
Speaking of, this is something that Phil and I would, or Phil and Alex would understand, but I'm gonna post this in our host chat, guys. This will give you guys a good laugh. This was posted today.
Uh,
We have a character That,
Oh God.
Oh, now it's official.
yes. Yes.
Well, welcome to the party.
I'm gonna call
Now-
him out on that because he said, I after some second thoughts. Dude, weren't you running for the CR presidency and saying you were supporting and voting for Trump? What were the second thoughts happening?
People are full of shit.
You want to talk about like fucking people who look like spies, like this guy right here, fucking.
Dude,
He looks like
he has
he
the
looks like a
mustache
fucking-
now.
no. He looks like a fucking pedophile. He looks like he diddles children.
He's got the pedo stash, doesn't he?
We're making super inside jokes here now.
Here, I'll post
now,
in the
folks,
chat's
so.
chat. I'll let you guys in
All
on
right,
that.
let's be careful with that. 'Cause,
Yeah, let's keep.
no one knows what the fuck this is other than
Yeah,
us.
let's keep it
You keep it that way.
within the subjects, public subjects only.
Yes.
I'm posting it everywhere. I'm just kidding.
I'll let you guys take a peek at it and then I'm gonna delete it there.
Yes.
Well,
Dude,
I
Andy,
mean,
look, Andy. No, he posted something on Twitter. They're moving their trucks right in. These MAGA trucks are moving their trucks right through these protests. It's freaking
Yes.
awesome.
Base.
Wait, Sean, did
Spraying
you
water.
see something similar to that once? with the
Spraying,
truck?
hosing water down on the protesters. It's great.
What were you saying about the trucks, Alex?
Didn't you see something similar once with trucks?
What do you mean per se? Was that
Like
during
like
my...
a Trump guy like bringing a truck to a
Oh
protest
yeah,
rally.
yes. I know what you're thinking of now. That was when when we were protesting Biden, when he was in that elementary school and Black Lives Matter showed up and this fucking like guy pulls up with a Trump bus, like all decked out Trump shit and like parks right in front of the protesters.
Oof.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, look at how many Antifa are here, though. Like, if you look on the stream right now, like, there's a shit ton.
Apex, I do have pants on, sir. I don't know what you're talking about, but I am wearing pants.
Apex. I did not accuse. Listen. I may have thought that, but I didn't say that.
No, evil Eric is saying that Sam has no pants on. Right?
Oh, you said Apex. I am wearing pants.
Oh, well, Dan, I meant to say evil Eric. So.
With scantily clad Saturdays.
Well, or shirtless Saturdays. I've done that before. So, but no one has PayPal'd me in a while. So.
Get up that
Wow.
OnlyFans.
I was gonna make that joke. Sam, you should make an OnlyFans if you haven't already. You need some extra income, right?
You know what? I've thought about doing that just for a joke to see how it would go.
Jacob Wold did
But-
it as a joke, like half a joke. It's kind of funny.
Did he actually make any money off of it, or?
Probably.
Someone probably did as a meme.
Apparently,
What?
Bella Thorne made millions. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to say something super politically incorrect here, which probably will get me banned off of YouTube, but it is easier for women to make money off of the internet that way than it is for
Like fucking
Man.
Pokimane.
How's that even controversial? Like
I was gonna say that. I was say that is the edgiest take I've ever heard, Sam.
like that is statistically proven. Like no one's. Yeah, that's the one industry where like women, you don't hear them complain about like unequal pay. So like the what's the word? Sex worker industry. Whatever the politically correct term for houses.
Yeah, I could see. Like,
Yeah.
what about the Chippendales dancers, huh?
Yeah, they don't
What
make-
they have a legitimate gripe, okay? Equal pay, right? Equal
You
pay
know-
for equal work.
You know what the stupidest thing is though is these same chicks who complain about who are like pro sex work are the same chicks who I shit you not will write entire columns about how over sexualized NFL cheerleaders are. And I'm gonna be honest, the cheerleaders are the only reason to watch the NFL now. For me at least. Just being honest.
Maybe they'd be happier if they set up their own OnlyFans account for the cheerleaders.
Antifa is asking for the police to arrest Trump supporters.
You know, why? Like, the police should go and tell them to go and give them their identity first.
But I thought they didn't want the police around. What the hell?
I think, I'm with Antifa. Abolish the police, guys. Come on. You don't need them, right?
Is somebody listening to death metal, or is that on the stream you're watching?
I don't hear any death metal.
On who's that?
Maybe it's just like static, and I'm hearing, it's
Yeah,
like a Rorschach test.
I'm hearing static on someone's end too.
Go away now.
So. Yeah, a little bit.
I think
I don't
it's
hear
fine because I turned the gain down.
I don't hear the faint
Whoa,
sounds
tear
of death
gas,
metal
tear
anymore,
gas
though.
deployed, tear gas.
Uh-oh.
You're playing Call. Oh, that's real life.
Which video
Call of
are
Duty
you guys?
2020.
Which video stream are you guys watching? I'll pull it up so
Yeah,
that
I'll
people
share
on.
it. Like, this is, it's getting actually, in DC and Portland, it's getting really intense right now because Trump supporters had a peaceful protest with their trucks and they couldn't handle that.
Jeez, dude, this looks like fucking so much gas everywhere. You'd think this would be like fucking Wuhan, like a couple days after the coronavirus pandemic came out.
I think this is Call of Duty.
Johnny Sam watches for the boy cheerleaders. Johnny, there are no such thing.
Whoa, I think Antifa's throwing these gas canisters. I don't know if it's tear gas or if it's smoke bombs, but I think. Oh, and the cop just kicked one. Oh shit, he's got his gunpoint. Oh shit. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did he shoot someone? Oh.
No, he didn't, but he was pointing.
You know that you're right, Sean. Like that is really funny because the number one people who call the police and shit like this is the left, and they're the same ones who want to abolish them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cops are moving in now. Cops are moving in. This isn't DC, by the way. I just realized.
Good.
Yo, they're moving in.
Oh yeah.
They should just come in there and beat the shit out of all these fucking Antifa pricks.
This one bitch is yelling at them. Oh god.
Is that like one person standing there?
This is the BOM mystery van.
So Johnny Arcade just informed me that they now have.
Oof. Dun 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 dun.
Yes.
So Johnny Arcade just informed me that they now have male cheerleaders in the NFL now, and all I can say is
that's just what we need: a gay male cheerleader swinging his ball sandwich at the crowd.
Yeah,
going on over here with the bum truck? What's up?
Dude, that's the mystery van.
Oof. God, that looks so I bet there's homeless people having sex in there. That's at least happened once in that van.
Ugh.
Man, yeah. Oh.
Why is someone carrying a fucking basketball? Are they like, oh, we're just gonna play some b-ball after we're done protesting,
Yeah, after we throw some smoke grenades, we're gonna go, hit the hoops, guys.
Is that one of those rental fucking scooters over there?
Wait, there's a
What's
scooter?
that, Zip Ride or whatever the fuck that is?
Yeah, they have a lot of those in DC.
I heard there was problems with those things. People would just throw them places, and they didn't tell the cities about these, so they just woke up one day and there was a bunch of random shit on their street, and they're like, okay, what is this?
That one surprised me. Let's see.
Well, I gotta get out of here, guys. A pleasure talking to y'all, as always. And, I'm gonna probably be watching the stream for a little bit, so.
You're going to bed. You're going to bed early, Gam. What for? Do you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I have some things to do here before I go to bed.
Okay.
You're gonna watch some pornography, it's
Proud
That's
Boys
right.
porn. Police porn.
Well,
All right.
well.
Catch you later,
I-
man.
Yeah,
Take it.
later, guys. Have a good night.
About to say, speaking of porn, you saw that like one like Antifa protester like girl over there, and when like right before they started marching, like, I forget the name of that meme, but there was like the one like white girl and like 8 black dudes like around her.
Molly locks.
Yeah, whatever that one was.
Moldy locks.
It wasn't. Didn't I think she went on to like one of JF's streams or something too? Like after that, like there was some really weird shit with her.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah.
JF
Well, yeah.
Didn't JF like beat his like wife or something?
Autistic wife. What?
Yeah, anything with JF Gariapi is gonna be weird.
Yeah, that guy's
Weird.
That guy's really weird.
Not as weird as some people who are not as weird as
He
a
shall
certain
not be
individual
named.
who is
What the fuck?
who now claims he has enough cash to buy his little gay compound
Oh god.
pound or whatever.
Oh boy.
So,
No.
I guarantee you. In fact, I'm gonna clip this actually.
I was
Mark my
I was gonna say, looking at all this violent shit, like just shoot them. It's not like the dead Democrats can vote. Oh wait, well I take that back. I'm pretty sure Chadwick Boseman's gonna be voting for Biden here in November.
Oof.
So.
Oof.
Oh wait, too soon?
Too
Is that
soon.
too soon?
Too soon, Phil. Get out.
Okay. But
Can't make those jokes here. Naughty.
you got
funny.
we can make- it's
Dude,
funny.
No,
Come on.
okay. One thing I'm gonna say about that. Isn't it really? Oh, it's getting tense with cops. Isn't it really just freaky, for lack of a better term, that while we're living in a time of Black Lives Matter in the streets and all this Black Lives Matter crap, Black Panther dies. Like, what the fuck is this signal that God is sending us? This is messed
See, I
up.
never watched that fucking movie. Like that just seems like a fucking race bait movie if I've ever like heard of one. Just like naming yourself, that'd be like if they named a movie like the fucking alt-right or the alt-right rises or something, the alt-night rises, and they make him a superhero. Like that's basically the same thing. It's like the Black Panthers, they're a fucking hate group. You know,
Yeah.
they did a lot of bad shit. Like like sure, like, times were different back then, but they still did some terrorist actions.
Well, they were trying
Well,
to like
the
prevent
thing-
people from voting.
The thing of it is that comic book is like 45 years old or something. Like it's been out for a while, but like no one besides nerds like me really knew what Black Panther was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I admitted to being a nerd, so I also made a reference to Karen McDougal earlier, and I'm pretty sure that no one except for maybe like 2 other people in my chat know who I'm even
That
talking
sounds
about.
really familiar. Karen McDougal. What the fuck is that? I've heard that. No, I've legit heard that name.
Well, Sean,
Just another
you
fucking.
can you can do a Google search. I would just advise you to turn
I think I
to
already
turn
did
on
that.
Basically, she's a Playboy playmate who allegedly Trump paid for, and it's funny
Oh, that's why.
because Reddit is
Flat tapping
Reddit
her.
is now like completely attacking her.
Dude, half of those pieces of shit would pay $200 for a fucking hooker. At least Trump, even if they were right about
He
Trump,
paid
at least
good
Trump got
money.
the real shit, right? He had like even if everything that they said was true, which it probably isn't. Well, let's just say if it was true, he got some Playboy playmates. He got with Stormy Daniels in her prime. There's some
Wasn't she?
yeah. Huh?
Wasn't cheap. He paid good money and he got
Yeah, he
good
paid good money,
shit.
and he's got the money to do it. Like, yeah, like, so yeah, some of these losers, they pay like, yeah, they pay $200 for some ratchety ass. So like, yeah, don't be mad, don't hate, don't be jealous.
She is a gorgeous woman too. And that's the one thing that Trump and I have in common is we've actually both met planets.
Oh, he
I never
more than
Well, that's
me.
because you live in Florida.
Yeah, I am lucky that way. It was
The women in Florida are giving it up for free though. So I mean, oh wait, did I say that? I meant to say
Yo,
something
police
else.
arresting
You're up to
Antifa.
fucking that.
Police arrest Antifa. Like they just
Yeah.
grab this one fucker. I'm gonna play the video on the stream.
Just grab him, lock him up. What the fuck up?
Lock him up.
let me see if I can get let me see if I can
Oh, he's a big boy
Yeah.
too. This guy's fucking
that-
thick.
You guys talk about that Kyle guy yet? You know, the Antifa Slayer?
You mean
Yeah,
Beyond Slayer?
we spent the first half of the Whitfield report on
What do you think about that whole situation, Alex?
Oh, I think he did nothing wrong. Well, the only thing he did wrong was, you know, crossing state lines with, you know, being underage with a gun. But like, other than that, you know, he still has his right to self-defense. And you know,
Yep.
those people who attacked him, like, honestly, if he was black, like, I feel like, you know, they could go and say this was a hate crime because, you know, he called the guy the N-word at the beginning. You've seen the video. Like, honestly, you know, he took out the trash. You know, all those people who were attacking him. Like, I don't think one of them was a decent human being. Like, we had like what, a pedophile, you know, like a convicted felon with a firearm. And I think the other person like beat his wife or something, and he like had parole violations. Like, they were all pretty shitty people.
So you're telling me that one guy with the skateboard isn't a hero? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Because I was here. I was here. I saw that Sean King was mentioning him as a hero. You know.
For what? You know, spanking someone in the ass with a fucking skateboard. Was he a frat boy wannabe? Like, trying to go and paddle someone?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Sean King had enough of time after painting himself black to really tell us anything about like any social issues.
He probably identifies with the one guy who called him the N-word, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I was saying earlier about this is that while the second guy he shot was definitely self-defense, sounds like the first one is too. I still need to look into that, find actual footage of it, but look, guys, if you're watching this, anyone and gals, when I say guys, I mean both genders. If you're watching this, I'm gonna say it again: do not go to these riots. Do not go anywhere near them. These are war zones. This is anarchy. You're gonna get hurt if you're lucky, and you're probably gonna get killed with this shit. Because look, even if you do survive, even if Kyle did do absolutely nothing wrong, even if he was over the age of 18 or whatever it is to open carry there, the courts would still fuck him over. His life is still fucked. Even if he does get, gets off scot-free with this trial, which, by the way, he has the Sandman's lawyer, the Covington kid, his lawyer. His life is still ruined. He's still seen as the Black Lives Matter murderer.
Well,
He's
I
probably
feel like
traumatized for life from this.
Yeah, probably. But I think, like, from a legal perspective, I think they do beat. I think because he has. Let's look at this in a larger perspective too. Like these idiots, these prosecutors are the biggest idiots on the planet, because like all they're doing is they're charging these guys. And like Marilyn Mosby in Baltimore did this, you know, that pretty much everybody, all these prosecutors that are in charge of these so-called hate crimes, they overcharge, and they're not. I mean, and when you do that, these high priced lawyers tend to do this thing pro bono because A, it's free publicity, and B, they know they're easily going to beat this thing, right? Derek Chauvin, look, I'm sorry, that's not second degree murder. It's not second degree murder. Any lawyer worth their salt is going to beat this thing calmly. It's going to be a easy beating of that of second degree murder charge. It won't even be.
So one of my
What's up?
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say one of my mods actually just sent me a link to a video on this whole Kennesaw thing. I'm not sure whether or not you guys were able to hear it, but do you mind if I play it on my stream?
Go ahead, I guess.
Alright.
Well, how long is it though?
Let me see here.
Like anything over like 3 minutes is gonna like people are gonna tune out. Plus our stream's gonna be like radio silence. Unless I tune up the riots, I could do that. I could turn on the volume on the riots.
What's the till dear that we can watch it another time?
Yeah.
Or you could like turn on my stream link, or let's see. Sauce multitasking, that video I linked is 100. Alright, let me see what this is. Okay. Alan Powell in the chat says they were probably hoping they could trick him into a plea deal, but they effed around and are about to find out too.
Yeah, like this is what they do. So these are what these prosecutors do. But that this is a standard common practice for prosecutors. They try to overcharge so they could get so they could get them to plead out for a lesser charge. This is how they operate. The problem is that anybody who gets a lawyer worth any kind of their salt is going to beat out the overcharges, and this is what we find out. And so a lot of these public cases they're gonna, these high priced lawyers are gonna take them either on the cheap or pro bono, because they know that they're gonna get free publicity. They're gonna basically own these prosecutors, because these prosecutors are the worst of the worst. And it's just like, and you know what? I think they kind of do this on purpose too, just because it makes them look good socially outside of the courtroom. And then they could say, and then once they lose, they could be like, "Oh, see, look, the system is against you."
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty fucking realistic.
But in all reality, they're just terrible attorneys. So, like the prosecutors are just terrible at their jobs. So,
Also, one thing I should say too is Tucker Carlson's comment that was drawing some like controversy on Twitter, where he said like it shouldn't surprise people like that a 17-year-old is taking up arms, like bringing order when nobody else is so true. And oh yeah, that chick does have that scooter. You're right, Alex. She's like riding through. This is fucking weird, crazy. I'm gonna bring up the Portland stream too because I found a better stream. But this is what I was. Like, we were talking about this, like, before, like, we're afraid it was going to get worse before it gets better, and, well, we turned out to be right, didn't we? I know Trent was saying that, too, when he was on, but how much worse is it going to get is the only question now, because guns are being drawn. There were guns drawn in Portland by protesters.
It's going to get way worse.
It's
going to get way worse.
It's crazy.
Well,
we haven't
well,
really seen both sides with armed conflict yet. We saw one side with arms, like every once in a while, but we have not seen like both sides shooting at each other.
I think, I mean, for me personally, I think I think this is a coup. I think this is a coup to overthrow the government. That's what I feel like it is. Feel like the Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all this stuff. Feel like it is a coup to overthrow the political government, and really, I feel like we should be treating it as such.
Well, exactly. Hence my reference to the Americans earlier, and I mean the communists. I mean, Black Lives Matter. The leaders have basically said that they're trained Marxists, which everyone knows that there is literally no difference between Marxists and communists. So they want a communist revolution in this country, and they're gonna try their damnedest to get it.
Someone has been shot in Portland.
Oh,
That was what we saw earlier with all those cops when we were first starting the stream, with all
Yeah.
those cops like in a section off the block there. Somebody's been shot, and police and ambulance are attending to the person. This was about 27 minutes ago. Major shooting in Portland. And there's now video out of the gunshots happening. It's all on Cernovich's Twitter. Everybody should follow him for that. And Sam's absolutely right. Like, there's no difference between Marxists and communists, and that's what they're trying to do. Is like, yeah, they are trying to overthrow the government. The mob wants to take over. Like, again, we've heard the rhetoric like repeatedly.
Yeah.
They said no justice, no peace. They said, you know, that they.
Well, what kind? Yeah, and then I have to ask, well, what kind of justice are you? What kind of justice are you talking about? Because there are always there's always investigations, and with all of these, like, these public mishaps, right? All the Trump administration has ran parallel investigations via the FBI and all that stuff. Like they're doing their job. It's not Trump's fault. Trump's doing everything he possibly can. It's like it's your own Democrat mayors, Democrat DAs, Democrat governors. All of these guys are sandbagging their own shit. And like but that's not really what this is about. This is no justice is like basically no justice, no peace is just a smaller way of saying, well, just abolish the government, basically. That's
They want what they want in terms of when they say justice, they basically want a kangaroo court, literally, where they can just like start executing cops or like political, opposition, basically like the Salem witch trials, basically. And I guarantee you that every single person on this stream would be brought up for a mock trial at some point.
Well, I don't think the Salem witch trials is what they're trying to emulate. They're trying to emulate the Russian Revolution, I think. Where they just go.
Well, yeah, certainly that too. But what I'm saying is, in terms of like fake trials or whatever, they would certainly do it like Salem witch, style, where you get executed either way. So.
Well, and I want to bring up another point too, because I think we're seeing the full, like, sort of the final. I don't want to say the final form, but like it's like the whole left is now all like getting towards this final form of Marxism right now. Like they're all sort of unifying towards that path, and what I'm wondering is what's going to happen to the right. And one of the things I saw on Cernovich's Twitter was that he, on his first video, he said something like, I think at the title of his, like, did Rand Paul wake up or something like that? And, yeah, did Rand Paul wake up? Because we all saw when he was leaving the convention, he was, Antifa was trying to attack him. Which is, look, I want to mention something. Two things. One, they're getting more bold and ballsy, these people. They used to just attack Proud Boys and like white supremacists and Trump supporters and like people, not elected officials. Now they're trying to attack. Well, there was a guy who tried to shoot Rand Paul, and a few others.
Didn't he have that like issue with his neighbor?
And that too, yeah. Well, what's with
Like, he's-
Rand Paul? Like, and that's a separate thing we'll dive into. But my point here is that these people are going for these government people now. Like, this is getting, like, more intense, more and more intense. And why the fuck is Rand Paul wasting his time creating bills in honor of Breonna Taylor? Like, what are you doing?
He's probably tired of getting shot at.
Well, it's not helping. And that's the thing. These libertarians, like, they all act tough and like that they're like doomsday preppers for like, and they're ready for when the battle comes. The battle's here, guys, and you're not fighting it.
Thank you. I was just gonna say that because when I was at Yale, everyone was talking about, oh, I can't wait until the Boogaloo comes, and it's like, you know, it's like, guys,
here.
the Boogaloo is the I've been a Boogaloo boy for the past, you know, couple years. Where the hell have you?
Careful saying that you're gonna be put on a fucking watch list.
Well, I mean,
We know somebody that got banned from a Discord for making like a Boogaloo, like posting a Boogaloo meme.
well, I mean, I'm already banned off Discord, so.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, maybe you were banned for that too. But my point here is that, and this is an important point, because Breonna Taylor's death seemed to be something that the right was kind of jumping on. I was like, okay guys, we agree with you on this one. Like, let's do something about this. First of all, that was fucking stupid, guys. Learn your lesson. These are all lies. Until like a couple days later. And there was a report dropped on the Breonna Taylor death, and Brandon Tatum actually got the exclusive on that. And it turns out her boyfriend was like a big time drug dealer. She was involved with it.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend was shooting at the fucking cops. He was shooting at the cops first. He was the first to fire.
And people don't care. Like, yeah, and this is another, like, with so many of these other issues too. It's like there's all these issues, like with these cases, like with Breonna Taylor. There's a good chance that these cops already know the fucking backstories. Like, before they even go into these situations, there's a good chance that they know these people.
They did.
Like,
They documented it.
if
They
you're
were watching them for weeks.
like if you're in the dope game, probably there's a good chance that these cops are probably already on to you. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, and this is like it's like with the Jacob, the Jacob one, the dude that got shot, Jacob Blake. Like, are you telling me that the cops don't already know this situation, right? They don't already have an idea of what's going on. That it's just like, and it's like, this dude probably, what we don't know, I'm assuming that this dude probably has a history. And they're like, and then you hear you hear liberals say, oh, what happened in the past doesn't matter right now. They got shot. He got shot in the back 7 times.
Yeah, they don't
I'm
say
like,
about
"Bull-
Kyle.
bullshit." It's like, it's the guy. You have Jacob Blake, who gets called, who violates parole. His parole stemming from a sexual assault. Like, apparently, he grabs her parts, and then says, "Oh, it smells like you've been with somebody else." Stop. How are women not mortified by this situation, right?
You know,
How are women?
Trump jokes about grabbing someone by
Right.
the foot. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
Jacob Blake actually grabbed this woman by the fucking pussy, and nobody's saying shit, right? And like, how are you not terrified of this guy? And then, so they try to arrest him for violating parole. He fights them. They try to tase him. He fights the taser, which means he's probably on drugs. Because if anybody who's ever been tased knows that getting tased hurts like a motherfucker unless you're on some kind of drugs, right? So you're on something, right?
That's a good point.
So he fights off the taser and then runs toward the fucking car. Who knows what the fuck is in that car. If it's a knife, if it's a gun, or if he just wants to get in the car and take off, which is even worse because now you're high as shit and you're probably you're at risk of running people over and fleeing from the scene on top of that. No, I'm sorry, I don't. The cops did their job, and yeah, that.
Okay, this is
It was.
like, I don't know if you guys are seeing this on the stream, but I think there's some sort of celebrity. It's at the Portland protests now because press is swarming this guy and everybody is like right behind him. They're taking like lots of pictures. And there's a dude right behind him holding a sign. I'm not making this up. Here it is. It says, "Let's all go to Bill Gates' house instead." Do we have a man on the inside?
Yeah,
Is that our guy? Oh god. Yeah, who is this guy? Yeah, they're taking I don't know if you can see this, like, you guys, but like there's some dude. Okay, dude, pull the camera up. Come on, there you go. Come on, up. There we go. Yeah, there's some dude they're like taking lots of pictures of. It's some sort of like, wait, is that, no way, is that who I think it is? I can't quite tell. Is this the chick that they're all actually looking at? This is, I can't. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? I need to pull up the chat.
Yeah, I'm watching this. I'm watching this too, and
I'm gonna refresh this.
I see a lot of people not wearing masks.
Yeah.
Just noticing that.
Well, that's fine. They're peaceful protesters. They're allowed to do that. But
if you're a protester, you don't have to wear a mask. But God forbid you want to go back to work or do anything normal.
Speaking of that, Sean, did you hear about that issue at Penn State? I think it was either today or last night.
Oh boy, what happened now?
They had another like big thing at East Halls where there was like this fight or something, and there was like a bunch of people around like not wearing masks, and the RAs were just like not doing anything about
somebody
it.
fell. Somebody fell in Portland. Whoa, somebody's hurt. Somebody's hurt bad. It looks like they fell down this thing where like there was like a fountain or something.
Like a manhole.
No, yeah, I'll look that up at Penn State. That doesn't surprise me, fucking people. Radio Freedom says, "I'm worried about some crazed Dem going after the kid," referring to Kyle. That's a good point. Kyle's got a target on his back. Navarro didn't cross state lines with a rifle. After working in Kenosha, helped clean up riot damage. Then armed himself in Kenosha after a bunch of business owners asked for volunteers to help protect his business. Yes, look, and I get it. It's good intentions,
Well,
but
see, that's kind of shady too. If like business owners are giving a minor
kid.
like fucking gun, like come on, guys, like we had to do. I mean, I can't really blame them though, because it is like a fucking war zone over there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, and that's how I'm like, my stance is like, yes, I get it, but don't fucking get involved with this and be like, you're a kid. You think you're Captain America and you're not. Like, you don't get the reality.
He kind of did.
No, it looks like the crowd. The person in the crowd's Joey Gibson.
Oh yeah, because I was
Joey
showing earlier.
Hey,
Who is Joey Gibson?
The Patriot Prayer. I think it's.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
hearing people say it
founder
before,
of
and I didn't think it was
Patriot
the
Prayer.
same person.
So what actually is Patriot Prayer? Like I hear them a couple of times. They kind of come up around the same time, so like Proud Boys gets brought up.
Well. I mean, I can explain here in a sec, but real quick, Random Randy in my chat says, my wife couldn't believe me when I told her the real story of Breonna Taylor. She asked me how that wasn't reported. I told her if she looks, she'll find it. She was shocked. Well, yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. No one, first off, most people read headlines these days.
Yeah.
They don't even read full articles. They literally just read headlines and then subheadlines of articles most of the time. So, that's number one. And if they do, they mostly read like, NBC or the New York Times or WAPO or, name your outlet.
Name your fake news.
Yeah. So they're not getting, actual real details on that.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
he's right wing.
The guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
Patriot. What you're talking about the Patriot Prayer guy?
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based?
But from
Question mark.
well, hold on though. Like, so from what I've heard, like Joey Gibson
By the
is
way,
one of these.
the person shot at the Portland police. The person shot in Portland is dead. So that's
Ooh, shit.
Oh boy. See, this becomes like a fucking cycle where, they protest, someone gets shot by police, they protest hard enough, another person gets shot by police, rinse and repeat.
What were you saying, Sam, about Joey Gibson?
From what I was saying, and I don't pay that much attention to these different, like personalities, but supposedly Joey Gibson, like, from what I've heard, is the whole Patriot Prayer thing is a bit of a scam.
They
And
sell knives door to door.
Well,
they
no,
sell
they
Bibles.
they kind of do the thing that like Owen does a bit, where it's like kind of culty and
How have I never heard of
whatnot.
this guy before? Like,
I
literally,
mean-
why am I just hearing about this dude now?
I mean, to be fair, I hadn't heard of the kill stream until about like 2 years ago. So
Well, that's 2 years ago. I'm just talking about this dude now, and I'm like, I'm like you, Sam. I follow Gavin a lot. I know a lot about the Proud Boys. It's like,
I've heard about Patriot Prayer before, I just don't know what's the truth versus what's the fiction. So, I
Well-
hear they're asked from the news, and it's like, I can't trust that shit. They say that Proud Boys is like this alt-right militia too, so it's like, okay.
yeah, like when I was
Well-
looking up Joey's page, they described Proud Boys as far right, which is the dumbest thing ever.
Well, my overall point being is like, Sean, is like there are so many internet personalities out there now that like whenever like whenever I hear of someone I don't know, I always get like, oh my god, you haven't heard of so and so.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like I knew of Fuentes like long before the Groiper War thing was happening. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
once people knew about him, then I was like, I was actually surprised some people didn't know like of him. Like even if they didn't like watch a lot of his shit, I was like, yeah, guys, this is Nick being Nick.
yeah, that kid will always be it will always be a mystery to me how that kid got popular.
I'm not. I mean, he does have some talent, like for sure, and that's how. I mean, here's the thing too. It's like people that are talented don't necessarily become popular or famous. Like it's just not like a golden ticket. It helps, and that's how you
Right.
get there. But that's not the golden. That's not. Just automatically gonna happen. And I think if he hadn't done that Charlie Kirk stuff, where they were calling out Charlie Kirk's hypocrisies and like putting like really like risque questions at him, he wouldn't be as big as he is now. Like that was what really blew him up. But even before that, his channel had quite a lot of subscribers, but and his Twitter had quite a lot of followers. How he grew to that level, I do not really know.
He was on the kill stream and stuff a lot. Like, that's where I first heard of him.
Oh really?
It just seemed like look, my point to all this though is
You think he's a
it
vet?
seems like there are a lot. Maybe, even if he's not a Fed. By the way, I'm getting feedback from someone's microphone, like a buzz. So, okay, that's better.
I don't know what that was. I didn't even change anything.
It must be yours, Sean.
Yeah, I'm hearing that again. I heard that, I think, what was it, on Wednesday or whatever the fuck that thing
Yeah.
was.
Well, my problem I'm
but
having
anyway.
right now, and I don't know why this is a problem all suddenly, is that I have to turn the gain up so that my level is equal to your guys' level on the OBS. But if I turn it up too much, obviously it's going to pick up more things. But if I turn down too little, it's like way too quiet, and then I have to like make the whole video quiet and to make it level and even, which is annoying.
Do you have like a mixer? Are you using one with your computer?
I'm using the audio interface like mixer on here, like just the gain control.
Are you using like a physical interface or?
Yeah.
Like
the only thing it did change is I re-added the input, so maybe in OBS, if I go to advanced audio properties, I might be able to change some stuff in there.
Oh, the NBA resumed playing today, like as if I gave a shit. I was just checking up on Twitter, and by the way, how stupid did that NBA fucking look with all this shit? Oh my god!
Can you explain that whole thing? I didn't really keep up with it.
So after the Jacob Blake situation, these NBA players basically protested. Some of the players were like, we're gonna stop the rest of the playoffs and protest for Jacob Blake, right? And so like within a day they backed out. I guess I'm assuming the owners were like, hey, if you back out of this postseason, you're gonna be giving up like 30% of your pay, which, the NBA players were resumed that they would play within the next few days, and it was like, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, how they looked stupid because after the whole time, so when the whole thing happened, I think the next day it was like LeBron said something about it. He's like, oh, they could have done. LeBron was like, oh, they could have done something different. Like they could have done something to subdue this guy. Like, well, video showed that wasn't possible. And then Doc Rivers, he gave this. He was like in tears, which are probably crocodile tears, but like he was like, yo, you don't understand, man. These black people are getting shot every day, which is not true. These black people are living in fear. If it is fear, it's self-made and it's false. Because these black people are getting hunted every day. That's not true either. But and then of course the real story came out about this dude's criminal past, and then you didn't hear shit about it ever again. Like I've heard nothing since. Like you got like, word to the wise: be careful when you jump on some bullshit like this, because when facts come out, it makes you look really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Really stupid. It made the NBA looked really stupid. Like really fucking stupid. And they already look stupid too, because it's like they're, they've got all these, like they've got Black Lives Matter on the courts. They have like they have these like quotes that are on the back of their jerseys or whatever.
And LeBron especially looks stupid now. Have you seen the meme out there that just came out where it says, when you forgot to do the summer reading for school, and someone asked, well,
you see that, by the way. Thanks for reminding me, Sam. You see that piece of shit. He was flipping a book while he was being interviewed. He was flipping the autobiography of Malcolm X, right as he was getting interviewed. You knew he didn't read that fucking book. You knew he didn't read that.
No, and it's hilarious because he did exactly what we all did back in high school, where he's like, I thought that book was really like informative, and
he said some shit like, he seemed like a very intelligent man, and he uses the word Negro a lot in the book. And it's like what that's some shit that you say like when you get busted out in class. Like, oh, so did you read the book, LeBron? Can you please explain what you read? It's like, it looked like a very good book. It was very informative. It looked like it had the word Negro in it a lot and used a lot of big words that I couldn't understand. And like, no, you didn't read the fucking book, dude.
Well, to be fair, I mean, who the hell did read their? Who the hell ever did read their
I mean,
summer
look, you got to
I
be
did.
fair.
reading
Look,
book?
now,
I did.
now Malcolm X did have a very he did have
Yeah.
like, you know, you could learn a lot from Malcolm X, but like, this dude didn't read. This dude didn't read the fucking book. It was a prop. He flipped the pages in front of everybody while he was getting interviewed. He didn't read the damn book.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you see these people on the news that are like interviewing Sean Hannity about his new book. It's like, oh, Sean, the book was so great. Or you have like somebody on like the Tonight Show or like the fucking like Colbert or whatever, and they're like, so, Big A Triple A Club, you have this new book out. It's really good. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, dude, you probably read like the first fucking page. And
You
Milo's
probably pay an
point.
intern to read it.
What was that?
I'll give you guys a dirty little secret. Mostly these celebrity books are actually not written by them. They're written by
yeah.
like ghost authors.
Oh yeah, that's very, very typical. Like only some will even like put their credit them on the cover. They'll say like, I remember like O'Reilly used to do. I'd say Bill O'Reilly and so and so, but you know these I remember Milo did a video on the Mary Trump book like a few weeks ago, and he proved that like a lot of these journalists just read like the prologue and like some snippets from it, because all the quotes that they were talking about, all the shit they were talking about was just from like the first chapter. Like it wasn't. It might have even been a prologue. I forget what it was called, but it was like literally just like the first 10 pages of the book. And I get like nobody has time to read the entire book like to do something on it, but you know, don't act like you've like read it and you like know every detail in it. It's like no.
Audible.com, bitches.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good scoot around for. But yeah, Andy No has footage of the shooting now on Twitter, by the way. And like Phil said, Andy No saying that it's been confirmed the person has been shot and killed. Motive, well, they're still looking into that to see who actually did it. Antifa's claiming it was one of them that was killed, but that's not confirmed.
Yeah.
But and apparently also, big time hardcore Antifa people were like shipped into DC tonight. Like they were like flown in or bussed in or whatever they do anymore. Mystery van, like road trip, I don't know what. But this was a planned strategic attack tonight.
I do feel like after this election, like when Trump wins, I feel like you're going to see a lot of arrests. I feel like you're going to see a ton of arrests because I one of the things I'm thinking, because we're already seeing it, like we're already seeing the DOJ arresting a ton of fucking people from like the earlier protests with like Portland and shit, like or Seattle. I'm sorry. Because I noticed that the DOJ, they tweet out like blotters that that list off people that have been arrested for this shit.
Yeah.
So you know that they're laying low, they're gathering information, they're taking names, they're identifying people, they're seeing what's happening, and they're just like they're keeping an eye. I feel it looks like they're keeping an eye on the situation. It's like, well, I think they're laying low, and they're like, you know, they're doing their rattlesnake thing. They're like laying low, and they're waiting for the right time to strike, and then bam.
Yeah, I think you're right, because they've done that for some action's happening. People are moving. But yeah, I think you're right, because they've done that too, like before, like with the ICE raids when they crack down some hot spots for illegals. You know, I think they're gonna do like a fucking Antifa raid. They're gonna like raid these fucking bitches at some point.
Yeah, I always feel like if you if you if you burn down or if you try to burn down a federal building or break into a
You're
federal
fucked.
building, yeah, well that too, you should be fucked. But no, I think you should be sent to Guantanamo and fed a cock meat sandwich. That's what. Yes,
Dude, they
yes,
probably
that was
like
a
that.
yes, that's a Harold and Kumar reference. But yeah,
I like it. Dictator Phil is coming back.
I
No more
love when
soft.
Dictator Phil comes back.
No more soft. Uh, pussy. I mean, Fluffy Phil. So.
watch your mouth, young man. No,
It's
I just
hammer time, bitches.
well, I mean it's I try to be nice. I try to be nice, but these fucking protesters bring out the worst of me.
See, that was me, like, probably, like, every single day before. I'm trying to find a good time when I'm just like, no, no more. No, sorry. Don't care. No, can't have any sympathy for you people anymore. Can't give you the benefit of the doubt either.
Nope.
That was me back in 2016. Like the Trump derangement syndrome during the election was so bad. It's like so I wasn't a Trump supporter from the get-go. Like I was actually kind of like, yeah, I'll vote for whoever the Republican nominee is. And like then I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll begrudgingly vote for Trump. Well, then between the Never Trumpers and the Antifa people,
Cops are
the
leaving.
Trump derangement syndrome in 2016 got so bad where it's like, nah, fuck you guys. I'm voting for Trump just to spite you assholes. So
Yeah, I think for me, when I stopped being nice was probably when the Sargon event happened, because that's when I personally had to deal with these people, like, literally face to face, and, like, even before that when they were doing a bunch of other shit. So
oh yeah.
that to me was like the sort of breaking point when I realized how these people are
Hey.
just so fucking insane.
So here's an update. Here's a brief update on so we had talked about the RNC and the DNC, and we talked about how when the DNC happened, right? It provided no change in polls. Now normally when a party gives their their convention, like after their convention, there's usually like a bump in the polls for their side, right?
Yeah.
That's usually the way it always is. However, this Democratic National Convention, after it, 0% bump. Okay,
What?
It actually went
0%.
down.
Right, and in some
Not-
cases, it actually went down.
It went down. Not only that, but kind of breaking news.
Yeah.
So, did you guys hear that Tim Pool
Base
and
beanie now.
and I knew that this was fucking coming.
Yeah.
I knew that this was coming eventually, but he has officially said that he's going to vote for Trump.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, I know that my audience goes, "Oh, Tim is a fence sitter. Tim wears beanies. He's just
Not anymore. He's wearing the
he's
MAGA
just-
hat.
Okay. But here's
or a
the deal.
MAGA beanie."
Yeah. Here, so this last poll that I just saw, right, from the Democracy Institute, shows Trump is now leading in the national popular vote, 48 to 45.
Wow.
And in the battleground states, Florida, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, Trump is up 49 to 42. So
I'll tell you, like, just in PA, just in the, look, Trump supporters have been fired up in PA. On the ground, they've been fired up. In some pockets, not so much, like the county I'm working out of, but even the county I'm working out of, there's been a shift. There has been a noticeable shift that I can feel, where people finally, it seems like once that convention hits, they go, okay, it's game time. we're done spring training. It's time to play this thing. You know, where the playoffs are over. Like it's the Super Bowl. You know, that's what it feels like. Or I guess this is the playoffs. I guess if you want to keep the sports analogy, like the season's over. We're in the playoffs. Shit's real. Shit matters, and the Super Bowl is coming. That's what it feels like, and you're seeing this even in the streets too of Portland. Like it's escalating. It's shit's getting real. People are fired up on both sides.
Here's another poll. All right, so the YouGov America Yahoo News poll has Donald Trump leading Joe Biden amongst independents 44 to 34.
Yeah.
That's a big that's a doozy right there.
And we're not saying these polls are legit. We're just saying, like, if Trump is doing this good in these bullshit polls, imagine how good he's actually doing.
Well, we thought we saw. Look, and it's like the early polls aren't anything to really write home about. We decide to show up when it counts, right?
Yeah.
So this is where and this is crunch time now, where we're starting to see, you know, hey, some of these people are getting their mail-in ballots now. Some of these people are starting to inquire about where they can vote, where they can go.
Well, yeah, the first vote's gonna be cast next week.
Yeah. There's nothing that they can do to really create a kind of bump. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing there. So basically, it's Trump is in the driver's seat right now.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like there's nothing. The only thing that would change, the only thing that politicians can really hope for is if they could win the debates. But dude, asking Joe Biden to win a fucking debate against Donald Trump, holy God, that is a monumental task right there.
Yeah. And I think too, like I made this map I think back in June. I'd have to check when I said I made this, but I was thinking, like, in my optimistic mind, if Trump keeps getting better, if things keep looking up and up for him, if it's more good shit's happening for him, he's gonna keep all the states he won 16, and he's gonna add on and win Minnesota. He's gonna win New Mexico. He's gonna win Nevada. He's gonna win even maybe New Hampshire. I was just betting on. Now, given the convention bump, given how things are going, if things keep going in this direction, that's the big if here. I'm not saying this is how it's going to end, but if things keep going in this direction, he's going to carry all those states. He's going to keep Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, and win Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, and even New Hampshire, if things keep going this way. Now, a lot can happen in 2 months. We're almost 60 days out. We're like 65 now. A lot can change, but Donald Trump goes to bed happy and optimistic and very, very, very satisfied with how things are going, because he needs to keep it up, and he's got a lot of work ahead of him, and he knows that. But the Democrats are making some major mistakes. They fucked up their convention. It was a weak, low energy convention. It was uninspiring. They're not on the ground knocking doors, which I can't emphasize how huge that's going to hurt them. I mean, that is just insanely huge. They're doing nothing about the riots. They're even condoning them and bailing people out of jail.
Well, not only that, but they're blaming Trump for the riots, and it's like,
they're trying to do some guilt by association there, which isn't really gonna work when people realize, wait, these governors locked me down. These governors aren't doing anything about the riots, and then the mayors. I hope they wise up to that. But then keep in mind, on top of that, the Democrats want to keep people shut down and hurt their businesses. I mean, that's, again, it all comes back to the pandemic and the virus, because these shutdowns we all thought were necessary in the first round, but then we were like, okay guys, we need to adapt to this. We need to have a new normal, and we need to keep making money to put food on the table. And the Democrats are all like, oh, no, we need to shut down again. We need to send your kids home. We need to shut down the schools. And single mothers, working moms, Trump moms they can't have this. And that's a core part of his base is these Trump moms and these working class moms. And they're going to go, okay, this is ridiculous. I want to be able to send my kids to school. I have the option to, and you're not going to let me, and then I can't work and bring home money. That is what affects people, and they feel it. And yeah, there's anarchy in the streets, attacking, like taking away people's, safety. They're not going to like that. Their need to feel safe needs to be fulfilled. And if you're not fulfilling their need to be safe, you are on the wrong side.
That's a good point that you bring up there, Sean. And now that I'm thinking about it, I want to bring something up here too, because back in January, right after the State of the Union, two things happened. One, Rush Limbaugh got diagnosed with lung cancer.
Yeah.
But then Rush also said back in January that the Dems and the deep state were going to try and get the country to shut down because of COVID, right? That it was going to come here, and that the powers that be were going to basically shut us down, right? Well, all of the mainstream media and news outlets were saying that, oh, Rush Limbaugh has become Alex Jones, and they're all conspiracy theorists. We're not going to shut down here. That's crazy. We're not gonna close down schools or anything. 2 months later, oh, we need to shut down everything.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we needed to shut down when we did. After that, like, no, we gotta adapt. We gotta just social distance, wear masks, and we'll be fine. And I found even this tweet. I need to fact check this, see if this is actually true, but I'm gonna bring this up before you keep going because this might actually feed into your point. There was a report that said, quote, this week the CDC quietly updated the COVID numbers to admit that only 6% of all the 153,504 deaths recorded actually died from COVID. That's 9,210 deaths. Okay, so we went from 150,000 to 9,000. The other 94% had 2 to 3 other serious illnesses, and the overwhelming majority were of very advanced age.
Yeah, that's my point. The other point is now they're finding that the masks don't really. They do some stuff, but not really.
Well, if you're not protecting your eyes, then the mask can only do very limited protection.
And that's basically. People kind of make fun of me because I wear my mask and my Ray-Bans, so they think I look like some outlaw. But I mean, that's kind of why. If you have to wear,
Same.
If you have to wear a mask, wear sunglasses too. And if you're gonna wear sunglasses, buy a high quality pair.
Hey, why not just wear a gas mask?
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that shit.
I've actually thought about that. I kid you not.
We're Darth Vader mask.
I think I got like a Polish or fucking Czech gas mask in the basement. I need to go and find it.
It's part of the problem is it's really hard to go outside here in Florida with a mask and sunglasses because your sunglasses start fogging up like immediately. So.
Oh, Trump International Hotel in Vancouver has permanently closed.
Good.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of Canada.
That's
yeah,
a new
probably
one,
Trudeau was bitching out. He's like,
oh god, I'm going to
probably
the
politicized.
Yeah.
I'm on the Collegian's
Get
website
the fuck out of Canada.
because I was gonna look up that story you're mentioning, Alex, and the first thing I fucking see is Joe Jurgensen's big ass, creepy ass face on a bus. And the article reads, third-party candidates' Pennsylvania ballot requirements weren't changed despite pandemic. Who cares?
Well, I know a
Get
couple
fucked.
people who would care, literally a fucking couple, and like, oh my god.
Dude, they
Yeah.
keep
That
look,
person's so fucking stupid.
I can understand the argument against these like requirements to get on ballots, like having to get all these signatures. I don't know the reason behind it. There probably is a good reason. But if you can't get like a few thousand signatures in an entire state, there's a bigger problem here. It's not the ballot requirements,
think-
it's your fucking candidate and your ground game.
Well, I think they do that because they don't want to have a bunch of like bullshit candidates on there, and it would confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
People, it would get expensive, especially with how come like because apparently like I was at Black Hat a few weeks ago, virtually, and like the U.S. is one of the most complex like voting like system, or not voting system, but like ballots in the world, due to how many like different like local, state, federal, all that shit. We have like over like I forget how many they have, but it's like several. I think it's like several thousand like different ballots for a given election.
Oh, really?
Something ridiculous like that. Like in Europe, you might have like a couple. It's like it's insane.
Yeah.
So we are number one.
We are number one. Hey. What was the other thing we were mentioning? I said the collision about Penn State, and you mentioned something else.
Did you see that kid yet? Or
What
the
kid?
the East Halls?
Yeah, I'm
like
looking that up right
shenanigans?
now. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Apparently, I have a man on the inside. Apparently, our student government is trying as hard as shit to move Penn State all online. They want to shut down the university. I want to know how many of those UPA people are actually on campus right now. Because my girlfriend, she says it's a total ghost town. You don't even need to shut down. Like, nobody's out. Nobody's interacting with anyone.
Except at East Halls, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of kids fucking around. Like it's on the Reddit, I know. Like there was like a TikTok video
Oh, God, would be.
on the fucking Reddit.
You've been in that Reddit a lot.
I don't have Facebook anymore.
That's
Am
now
I
you're
supposed to-
lurking on r/Penn State.
I look on a bunch of different fucking places. I fucking hate Reddit. It's like, it's like hate watching it. Cause I can't like go to the meme pages I used to. It's like what like that, or like Instagram, like Instagram's just pictures, and like sure there's some funny memes and shit, but like I miss my like funny fucking like Facebook pages.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I want you back on Facebook.
Me too. Fucking Zuck's gonna wait till fucking November 10th or something, like right after the election.
Yeah. Oh, and I do have something I'm gonna talk about is off air because I don't want anybody to steal my idea. But I found something that we could that might go viral if we do it right, about something Penn State did, and I don't know why nobody's talking about it. It's actually something it's potentially pretty bad. Like not like super bad, but it's like
Yeah,
it's an
bring
optics
that up.
check moment.
Yeah, talk about that off air, but yeah, no, I get you, man. I get you.
Let's see, I'm going on the Penn State sub. Oh God. Oh, East strikes again.
So, gentlemen, do you think there's anything left really to cover in regards to what's been going on, or shall we call it the show?
Yeah, I think we talked about most everything. You talked about the Kyle thing. You talked, about the Trump, the riots, a little bit of everything.
Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and there's really no like pop culture news or anything.
I
Like,
mean, the guy
Dude,
died,
Black
that Black
Panther.
Panther dude.
oh shit, yeah, I've
How insensitive of you, Sam. You must be racist.
It's because he's
Oh
black.
yeah. Chadwick Boseman
Chadwick.
passed.
I wish I had a name like Chadwick.
Chad. Everybody would have to call you
Chadwick
Chad.
Boseman passed.
I used to know. I knew this one guy at my work. His name's Chad. He's awesome, but like,
And
name like Chad Dick, or Chadwick. People are gonna think it's like Chad Dick. Like this guy's got it.
Oh, dude, they were doing marches on College Ave, like on the street.
Oh god.
Black Lives Matter. Dude, I want to go up there so badly. God. Well, because like now I can like fuck with people and I don't have to worry about like Penn
There's
State
nothing
doing anything.
going on 99% of the time. Like when I was there was fucking nobody.
Yeah, that's what's so.
I was so pissed off. Fucking Indian Pavilion, man. They shut down the all you can eat. Fuck that.
No, what if
Well,
Indian Pavilion gets shut down, like permanent?
well, they shut down all the restaurants by my college campus.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, our entire town was shut down apparently.
Well, see, everywhere I'm at, like I can go to this like sushi place and it's all you can eat, and like I can get that shit there. But like if I'm at Penn State, nope, can't get my fucking Indian food.
That is one thing. I am 90% sure they're going to shut us down one last time completely.
Oh, we're gonna get shut down, Penn State. Like the student government's pushing for it, and it's these whole shit keeps happening. There's gonna be a day where there's just this like massive spike, and then Penn State's gonna shut everyone down. I'm like, you fucks, you stupid fucks.
My school does this really weird, ridiculous thing where we have to log in to like some portal system every single day and do this COVID like check, like how are you feeling, so that you every single day, like even on the weekends. I'm like, really? I'm not like, why are you sending this to me on a Saturday? I'm not planning on going.
It's probably like that. Like I don't know. It reminds me of that like sexual assault course they tried to make me do at Penn State. You had to go and like it was like an hour long, and I found out a way to go and like speed up the videos, and I just got done in 5 minutes. I didn't fucking listen to it. It was like, how much beers makes you drunk? If they're like Sally had like she's wasted. You see Sally, what should you do? And like A, like rape her. B, like don't rape her. C, call like campus whatever and tell them that this person's like passed out drunk.
Yeah.
It's like,
I had to do that thing too.
Yeah.
But they make us do that. They make us do this every day, and if you like forget, they like send you a reminder email and like threaten to penalize you. It's
See,
like
I don't think that's necessarily like a bad idea, because that way they're
every
not.
day.
What?
Every single day though, like on the fucking weekends.
Well, see, the weekends is probably when you should actually be doing it more, because that's when people are gonna be hanging out. I think that's actually a decent idea, because
no, that's fucking retarded, man.
Why?
I mean,
because
listen,
you don't have to be testing people all the time. The tests are, not exactly plentiful, and the tests are, take time and money and energy. But you just ask people like, hey, how you doing? You doing all right? So they can keep tabs on people also, so it covers their asses.
What's stopping people from like this is security theater? They could go and fucking lie. Like, hey, I went over to a party with a bunch of people. Oh yeah, no, I was social distancing with a mask. Okay.
Well, I think that's why.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. And also, if I forget, here's my thing. Like most students, especially during midterms and whatnot, are busy with midterm projects and whatnot. So like, what if you just accidentally forget to take the survey because you're busy with shit? Like sometimes people just forget to do stuff like that. It's not because they're intentionally like trying to lie about about whether or not they have
Yeah.
something.
Well, and that's the
So
thing. It's like I don't think anybody should be like penalized for it necessarily, but I do think it's a good idea to keep tabs on how everybody's feeling and doing. And if somebody does feel sick, you'll know, hey, this is somebody we should help out. This is somebody we should quarantine. This is somebody we should actually get tested. It. I think that actually helps filter things out, so you're not
Well, if you
wondering.
felt like you need to be tested, you could just go and say, hey,
Yeah, but people
I
don't.
feel like I have the coronavirus. Give me a
but
phone
people
call.
don't because they're lazy and
What?
dumb.
They're gonna be lazy and just fucking forget to go and do that, and then you're gonna have a university enforcement officer coming up like, "Hey, buddy, you didn't take your fucking exam. What's going on here? You didn't take your survey.
Your
You got the
COVID
runner.
quiz."
Let's go and quarantine this motherfucker, or like, kick him out of the university because he was, he forgot during the weekend. Like his aunt Sally died. He fucking forgot. How despicable.
Well, like, and I don't think they're gonna necessarily act that way towards people, but like, I don't think you should either. I think it's not a big. If it's like a 5-question thing that you can do in like 2
Every
seconds.
single day that's insane.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's,
that,
it's not.
times a
Look.
week.
It is not a big deal, and I think people should get over it. Like, there are so many bigger issues happening. It's like,
It-
if this is the thing you're drawing your line in the sand on, like, come on,
I want-
guys. I'm not trying
I
to sound
want-
like a groiper, but like, we have drag queen story time happening, and nobody cares. But like, you're told to put a mask on. Like, let's stop everything.
Well, it's
Let's
not even that.
protest.
It's like, okay, you need to go and take a survey every single day without fail. Like, fuck, dude. Women can't even take a fucking pill every single day without fail.
that
How can you expect
Valid
everyone to do
point.
this?
that's my fucking point though. I'm with it's not so much that they have the survey. It's that if you forget, my school basically implies that like if you simply forget, they're gonna send like a fucking SWAT team to like come beat.
Imagine
Come be-
that meme when like the SWAT team like ropes into the house, like breaks.
Like, here's the thing, like,
they're not gonna
if you
do
go to
that.
class, they can go and take your temperature. They can go and, like, if you're going to campus that day, sure. If you're going to class that day, sure.
But
But like, on the weekend, that's none of their fucking business. And if you do feel sick, you can give them a phone call.
well, and see, here's the other thing too. 90% of my campus is operating online this semester anyway.
Okay, well,
Like-
see that. Well, yeah. How many people are actually on your campus? Like, that's the other thing I should ask. I mean, I'm thinking of this through the Penn State context. Like, I think if this was happening at Penn State where they quiz people, like they had people do a COVID quiz for 5 seconds every day, I'd be like, dude, that to me is perfectly reasonable.
Okay, Penn State is perfect, but do you know how many buildings my campus has?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was gonna say, like, how big is this campus?
Have I ever told you?
I don't think
No.
so.
We have one building.
Oh shit.
That's
see,
it.
ridiculous.
I'll send you guys a picture of my campus on Discord. But
One
yeah,
picture is
we
the full campus.
yeah, it's I'll send you a picture. Hold on, but
That's more
yeah.
than 10 work. Holy shit.
yeah, well, like my high school. So just to give you context, my high school back in Colorado was bigger than my college campus is now.
Well, see, that's a
Well,
good
now is
example
this
of
like a
context,
community
man.
college or is this like a full?
No, this is a full-blown university.
Do they have on-campus housing or is it all commuter?
Okay, so I go to USF, University of South Florida, and mine is a satellite campus, so it's a commuter.
Okay, yeah, it's like Penn. Yeah, because I went to Penn State York and it was like
Mm.
that. We had like 3 buildings, but like we only had like about 3 buildings.
Yeah,
but,
like when I went to
yeah.
Penn State Altoona, like to visit it, it was like 2 main buildings, and like that was it.
Yeah, so like for the So like for the satellite campuses, I don't understand like why. Like I get if you have like a big campus with like, all those things, like why they would need to check on you every day. I get that. But if you're going to a satellite campus, and again, if you just simply forget, why then do they act like you're in Grand Theft Auto with like 5 stars and
I
That's
go and
even the
grab you
biggest
by
issue.
the student conduct.
I don't think. Look, I think a lot of that's big talk, and I don't think they're actually gonna like be that stingy. They'll probably like send you a text reminder. The next day they'll be like, "Hey, you better do this or else." Like, I don't think they're gonna waste police resources on that. Like, I
It's
the,
your time every fucking day though. Like no, like
it's
do it
probably
once
do
every
like
couple
right when you
days.
wake up. It's like it is nothing. I think like people should honestly just not like. I think there's bigger
No,
things
that's
to worry
ridiculous.
about.
You need to draw a fucking line somewhere. That's where I draw the fucking line.
You draw a line on taking a 5-second quiz.
Every day though, it's like if you did this a 5 second survey once, okay. 5 second survey like maybe once a week, okay. 5 second survey every single day of the week, okay. Here's why.
5 second survey twice a week. I could see that maybe.
Maybe even every single day that you like go on campus. But if you're not going on campus, that's stupid.
That's
Every single
insane.
Yeah, but
every
how do they
single
know who's going on campus and who isn't? Like nobody's.
But if
gonna...
it's a commuter campus, ain't going on campus on the weekend. Just do one on like Monday and just do one on Monday and then like
Well,
maybe
for
Friday.
his campus, yes, but for like a general like Penn State campus, like to me, it's perfectly reasonable to do it every day, especially since there's a good number of kids still there, and yet people like fucking like crowding outside these halls.
Yeah, they can lie.
Yes, but people can lie on anything. Like it's
yeah, and
it's still like you're not gonna get perfect results, but you're gonna get something. You're gonna get a better sense,
Probably
and that's
won't
the
get
whole
shit.
point of it.
You're probably not gonna get anything. People are gonna think it's a joke. Someone's gonna make a program that can fill out the survey like every day for you because
You
people are
would
gonna be
take more
lazy.
time to make the program than to actually fill out the survey.
Every single day though, like
Probably takes 5
maybe.
seconds. Takes
Yeah, but if
5
one person makes a program, distributes it to other people, I don't know. They could
I
probably
don't-
sell it. Like,
I-
hey, pay $5 and never have to deal with this stupid thing again. I'd pay for that.
I think people need to just get over it and grow up.
No, man. Like, it's one thing. Okay, we're wearing masks. Okay, I get that. But, like, taking a survey that you can easily lie on, nah. You know.
also they want now they haven't mandated this, but
See,
they
that's
want
what I'm saying. It's not that big of a deal.
well the test they have mandated, but what they want us to do is to install like a tracking app on our
Okay,
phone.
that's
Okay,
insane.
yeah. See, you dropped it somewhere.
No,
I
that's
am-
insane.
Okay, Bill Gates, let's do that.
I am not fucking installing. It's bad enough that I have to install a fucking certificate on all my devices so I can use the school Wi-Fi. That's bad enough. Okay,
I
I'm not
can't.
ins-
I can't gamble without using location services on my phone now. So
you. Don't lie, dictator. Phil. We know you use your phone for internet porn.
I use. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I use it for that too. But I'm saying
Why are you using
To
the
use-
small screen, dude? When you have that
to
big ass
use-
TV in front of you,
You don't want to get a virus on the computer. You don't want to,
you
have
can
it
AirPlay
pop
it.
up.
You can AirPlay it to the TV.
who says I don't?
It'll pop up, and then you have someone else come in, like your mom comes to visit or something. It's like, oh shit.
Give it. I have my own place. Fuck that shit. Nobody. Who's walking in on me?
When you knock on the door, it's fucking Mormon
No,
people.
no.
I mean,
I don't care. I'll fucking do it. What? You shouldn't have knocked on my door. You didn't want to see my balls sandwich. You shouldn't have fucking knocked.
Somebody issues a no knock warrant on Phil. Just like bursts in, sees that.
It's like we found the suspect. We found the suspect with his dick in his hand.
I don't know, man. See, there's something natural about like using one hand for your phone, one hand for your penis. You know,
Okay, we need that insight.
there's something natural.
You know how hideous, you know how hideous I am? That would be a sad sight to see. Imagine a cops. Imagine watching Cops and seeing that fucking sight.
Dude,
Oh my
they
God.
blur shit for a reason.
Put that ball sandwich away, man. Jesus Christ. Your kid's watching this fucker.
Phil, I'm just curious. Are there any like specific types of porn that military dudes watch?
No,
like,
let's not get into this.
Dude.
Cuckold porn.
She-male.
Oh yeah, with all your shit from Bangkok, that's probably true.
Dude, they yeah, there's there's some I'm not gonna say popular.
or am I
But there
venturing
is-
into, or am I venturing into PTSD level territory?
But there's fucking weirdos that like tape their own shit and then play it back.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
like they-
sure.
Like they have like people they're like I had a roommate that did that shit. Like he'd bring a girl
Sex tape.
back, bowl her, and then like videotape it, and then a week later he'd be watching that shit. Like,
did you say
Yeah, imagine
bowl
you're so what
her?
I know with the pegging video.
mm-hmm.
We still need to find that.
You know, give a bounty for that.
I do know that there are like porn stars who will like voluntarily sleep with like military veterans, and I'm always kind of like, but then I'm kind of like, nah, it's not that bad. So
I wouldn't know.
This reminds me of this one time I like
neither would I.
was reading something, and then like this dude's like wife like became he like went on fucking military doing his like wife started making porno. I think it's happened a few times. I think Phil, you had a similar story.
Yeah, no, I told you there was I knew somebody whose wife went into fucking porn.
I saw one. Like, I think it was like it wasn't BuzzFeed, but it was one of those stupid shit websites. You know, one of those like trashy ones, and like it got on there. And I think I saw it on like Pornhub once, and I was like, "This is fucked. This is really fucked."
Let me see
Keep
here.
watching. Fucked.
How do we put a bounty out for this video that we need to find? Should we like put like a post on Craigslist?
Oh god, fucking Craigslist. I mean, you find some crazy shit on there. Like, I think I was on like the resume section. I think that's what they're using for the porn, like for the sexual services section now. So I was like looking through there, and it was like looking for like a female tickler, and I'm like, oof, I don't know about
A
this.
tickler?
Yeah,
People hire people to tickle them?
I don't know. It was like a man like trying to go and like hire himself as a tickler.
Oh,
Like you go and
God.
tickle females or something. And like there's a bunch of other weird shit. And it was like, hey, looking for a woman who wants to get like knocked up by some random guy. And I'm like, you know, see, I used to see that all the time, dude. I used to love the personal sections just because of how much depraved shit you could find. I'm so sad they took it down. See, that's the one thing I have a problem with Trump doing is taking down that section because there was some comedy gold on that shit. Like,
I used to see ads that. So what's funny is I once saw like an ad for a camera technician on Craigslist. Basically like a cameraman. But then I read like more into it, and it was like must be comfortable working in like questionable environments, and I after reading into it, I'm like, oh, they want like a porn cameraman or something like that.
Not
But
to
it was
interrupt
like-
the porn talk, but big breaking news: the guy that was killed in Portland was wearing a Patriot Prayer hat,
Oh shit!
and yet the New York Times, this is their headline. Read this carefully. It says, "Deadly shooting in Portland after pro-Trump ralliers clash with protesters." So here they're framing it as somebody got killed after Trump supporters showed up and clashed with protesters, peaceful protesters. That is not what happened at all. These are violent rioters and terrorists.
Oh yeah.
Continue porn talk.
My God, discreet married female for daytime pleasure. Lists resumes. Hardworking young man looking for work. I don't know. If
So yeah. So I put a fucking porn web page on the fucking on the host
the
chat.
Discord?
Yeah, the Discord host chat.
Okay.
But no, so the
I'm opening it.
we used to like she would come through, like there would be times where I'd work gate guard where we check people's IDs and shit.
Oh no.
And like and she would come through the gate every day, like, and then all of a sudden she just like disappeared for like weeks at a time. And that's when we found, the first time that happened was when we found out, oh my god, dude, she left to go to Miami because she was doing some porn shit, and then she decided to go to fucking Los Angeles. And like, so she just go away weeks at a time to be shooting these fucking porn videos. And like, and so of course, you know, her husband would be like, he'd be working the gates too. There was one time where he worked the gates, and we played one of her clips. We played one of her clips. It's like, oh my god, I don't think I could fit this in my mouth, and we were just fucking dying. Yeah, it was one of the, like this dude pulled out his junk in their video, and it was like, oh my god, this is so big. I don't think I could fit this all in my mouth. And we just started playing it over and over again. It was fucking hilarious.
Wait, so she would come to your base?
Well, no, she lived on base, so she'd go off base, and then she used to work on like a part-time job and then come back on base. So we'd all see her, and like, and so we got along or whatever, but like of course we didn't know that she was like going to be a porn star. Only when the husband's like, man, well, he told a friend, and then the friend told us, and it was like, oh, she's doing porn now. And I'm like, no shit. And of course one of my friends who's like into the porn scene, he knew her fucking name and shit, like her stage name. And so they were like, oh my god, you should check this out. So of course we all did, and fucking dying. I was fucking dying because the very first video had that, like, I don't know if I can fit it all in my mouth, and we were just fucking dying.
Oh god, I'm waiting for the day when I see somebody I know like in a porn video and it gets like shared around. I'm just like, oh shit.
I don't think we're really gonna see, like, I don't know if we're really gonna see it all that much. We see a whole bunch of like e-thoughts with fucking like premium Snapchats and shit. I think that's like
that's the new thing.
Yeah.
Ruined everything. So.
Well, you're in Florida, so you're
Yeah,
probably
you
more
can't
likely than
complain.
any of us to see that shit. Like to see the porn people you know in porn.
There are lots of e-thoughts here though too.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I found a fucking ad for male nudists seeking cleaning and other household odd jobs. Want to have an old man, a 61-year-old male with a slim build, clean your house while naked?
Oh, I definitely would love that.
See Grandpa with his balls hitting the floor.
Yeah.
Beats a butler any day.
God, there's so much shit on Quirk.
Let me clean under the bed here. Oh my God, sorry about that.
Imagine if you had a hotel, like it's like instead of the Playboy Mansion, it's a Playboy Hotel, and like the maids, like they clean your rooms, are all like nude, and they just like come in, like, hey, you need a cleaning? You need your bathroom scrubbed? You need your carpet cleaned?
What's this shit? See some weird fucking ad. I don't know what this, some Soros shit.
The thing with it is Playboy is actually tame compared to what's out there now.
Well, I'm like doing like a revival that's like raunchier and like more hardcore.
I mean, I like your
Playboy
thing.
great again.
It was never really hardcore, you know. You had all those other mags for that. You know, you didn't expect to go and see someone getting like ass pounded and like gaped.
I mean,
yeah, they had Playboy had fucking stopped doing nudity, and then that only lasted like a couple months.
And they're like, shit, sales went down. I didn't see that coming.
And that and then the brand also kind of died because after Hef died, the magazine decided to go woke. And so it's pretty much Playboy is kind of dead now. So yeah, R.I.P.
Dude.
Well, I mean, Playboy's gone like online, I guess, but like,
yeah,
of course they're gonna have.
Of
course they're gonna do nudity, though. You can't just like.
It's not the same thing, though. So, but.
God, this is fucking disgusting.
Were you watching the video?
No, I'm looking at fucking Craigslist. Half of these look like fucking crack whores.
Some of the NSFW subreddits are like, wow, I didn't know that this shit even existed.
Yeah, so. I found one the other day was like tweakers, like fucking tweakers, and it was like people on like meth, like doing like stuff, and it's like half of them are like gay dudes like jacking off, the other half are like girls like putting like fucking meth into their asshole. It's pretty disgusting.
I'm pretty sure that Ellen Benjamin did that at some point. So, but
it's just a labor gig.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, because you're associated with me, you guys are now Gamma Secret Kings now.
Are we banned off of things now?
You're banned from ever going in Ellen Benjamin's chat. Congratulations.
Oh no! What are we gonna do?
Man, I'm really missing out.
Yeah. God.
I feel like I'm really.
I was really looking forward to being on that fucking chat too.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to the day when Owen basically does a Richard Spencer and endorses.
Speaking of Richard Spencer, I still want to know why Joe Biden has not condemned Richard Spencer's endorsement of him.
Yeah.
Because
how about that, Uncle Joe?
Well, because they're both racist.
Good point. Good point, Corn
Americans
Pop.
have been killed in these riots, by the way, in the entire summer.
Okay, 33 versus how many people died at Charlottesville?
1.
So why do people still bring up Charlottesville endlessly? I mean,
it is used to smear us.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm asking
I know. I know it's a
rhetorical
question, but I have to remind people.
No, I have to remind people all the time because, like, everyone. I mean, and that was one of the things. I don't know if you saw Scott Adams' video.
Oh, I always watch him. Which one was this?
I think this might have been like today or like last night, but he did a video in which he basically says that like Joe Biden is using the Charlottesville hoax
Yes.
as a as like his main talking point, right? Because Joe Biden in his speech once again said that Trump said that the neo-Nazis were very fine people, even
Yeah.
though Trump never said that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Scott Adams has been saying that ever since Biden launched his campaign, because in that announcement video, it all centered around the Charlottesville hoax, the fine people hoax, and so he's always been actively like getting people to wake up on that one. People that promote the hoax, he like goes hard on them because he sees that as such a very like a dangerous lie. And he even I don't know if you saw this one Periscope he did a few weeks ago. He said somebody drove by his house when he was getting the mail and said "fuck you, racist" or something like that, and came quite close to him, but the idiot didn't know that Scott Adams is rich, and he had one of those Ring doorbells and our security cameras, and so he has a guy's license plate, and the cops took him in.
Well, the fact that Joe Biden has basically like has basically built his campaign on Charlottesville. Yeah, you guys should have told me that like months ago, because that definitely means he's going to lose now if he's basing his entire campaign on Charlottesville.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty dumb, but again, we even saw from the beginning they were trying to pit this all about race selection, really, which is pretty sick and messed up and divisive as hell. But they were trying from the beginning to pit racial groups against each other, and that's where you see Black Lives Matter now. Well, look, we didn't. All of a sudden, why is it that all of a sudden cops are back to hunting down black people, innocent black people? They apparently stopped, for the past 4 years, and all of a sudden, oh my God, it's just like happening everywhere.
Well, notice how when Obama was president, right? We didn't hear anything about white supremacy or anything like that. In fact, when Obama got elected back in 2009, when Obama was inaugurated, there were op-eds saying that racism is over. Literally.
That's funny. I like that. I always like those jokes too. Like when they go up, they put a logo on their helmet. They officially ended racism. Hilarious. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So my point being, no, it is hilarious, because we go from racism is over, hooray, to 12 years later, right? Oh my God, racism is everywhere. It never went away. It got worse. It was hiding the entire time.
And then Trump's America just came back.
And it's
so here, let me ask you, like, so how do you see the Senate playing out?
Somebody actually asked me about that. I think we're keeping the Senate for sure.
Yeah.
I
think so too.
That's going to be the real battle, and I think with the momentum we're seeing, I think we can take the House. I really think we can. And I think we we can. I think we can too. I feel like with the House, there was things that were done in 2018 that were kind of like dirty, like especially like with the ballot harvesting and shit, like that you're not going to be able to play that same game in 2020. Like you're not gonna
like you in 2018, the ballot harvesting sidewinded a lot of the Republican vote.
Well, and
Like
also
you're
Republicans
not going
just
to be able
simply
to do
weren't
that shit
voting
in
in the same
2020.
numbers. Like that's the bigger problem is that I mean I even heard a few people at the office that were like, "Yeah, I only vote every 4 years," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't get that, but okay."
Yeah,
The turnout's going to be way higher, and that's going to
yeah,
favor us.
yeah. Um,
But anyway, well, guys, unless we have anything pressing, people are starting to leave the chat. So,
Yeah, I guess we'll shut her down too on our.
all right.
any closing remarks, final thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm terrified as to the direction things are going. Well, I won't say direction because that makes it sound like the presidency and Trump. I think Trump's being fabulous, but I am terrified as to what's happening down the streets. Not necessarily terrified in terms of like a civil war. I'm terrified in terms of like how years of progress are being just shattered. It's sad. Very
Yeah,
sad.
in just 1 year.
One
So.
summer, even.
You know what they say? The tree of liberty must be fed with the blood of tyrants every so often. You know,
Mhm.
communists work too. They're a good substitute.
I hope Rand Paul wakes up and gets off his libertarian high horse then.
I think he's just trying not to get shot anymore.
Yeah,
or,
but
like,
he's making
attacked.
it worse. These people don't care. They burned down churches that have Black Lives Matter on its sign.
His
He keeps getting shot.
I think he has the worst fucking security team ever.
I will say this though, Rand's RNC speech was pretty damn good.
Why do they keep attacking him?
They like easy targets.
Ooh. That's probably true. Perfect way to end this too.
I mean, yeah. Here's something for my libertarian audience. Instead of being a bunch of boogaloo boys, why don't you guys go and be like personal security for Rand Paul? You guys are always talking about how we need to privatize security, right? Privatize security forces. So go be Rand Paul's.
Well, I mean, he's libertarian, which means he can't afford it. So
That's the funny thing. It's like Rand Paul would probably love for the police to be like, not necessarily abolished, but you know what I mean. Like, hey, let's get Republic cops. But when push comes to shove, literally, he's got them all around him.
I will say Rand Paul. I'm not talking about Ron. Rand seems slightly more grounded. Well, not slightly. Rand seems way more grounded than his old man does. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they always have some interesting things to say, but it's like I'm kind of tired of it now. I'm like, these people aren't. Owen Shroyer came up with a great term for this. They're not wartime conservatives. You know, they're not really what we need. They're not out there on the front lines fighting. They like, look, they're worried about the fucking budget when we have like cities burning down. I'm like, what are you doing? But that's a rant for another time. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can always like and follow us here at Versa News Media on Twitter. Versa Media here. Please subscribe to us, and please subscribe to Sam's channel as well. Whitfield Report, Sam Whitfield at Sam. Was it NWGC at Sam underscore NWGC
at Sam W underscore NGC.
There you go.
And folks, thank you for tuning in to the Whitfield Report. I want to thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. From all us here at NGC Studios, both here in Florida and in Pennsylvania. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and good night. God bless. God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy in that order, as my friend Mr. John Neer likes to say, and have a good evening. I'll see you next week, folks.
Wash your hands.
Later, Gators.
Take it easy.